Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with ddstamps.com, and today I'm here to show you how I did this card using this great resist embossing watercolor technique. And it's super easy. I don't think it's hard, but it just really makes every card look great. So to begin with, I'm using the Bloomin' Love stamp set from Stampin' Up, and I'm using this stamp to do the embossing, and I believe I use this one and this one. This for the background and this for the little sentiment. But there's lots of little things you could do with this card just to change it up a little bit. I am using Pool Party, Island Indigo, and Bermuda Bay cardstock, or excuse me, ink. And the cardstock that I'm using, this is a piece of, was 8.5 by 11 cardstock cut in half, so that's 4 1/4, and then scored at 5 1/2. And that gives me my card base. And it's just a different way to fold your card. The reason that I do that is because I want to put this ribbon on here, and it's easier to tie it around that way on the card. So there's my card base. And then I use 2 other pieces of cardstock. This is Island Indigo, and this is the shimmery white cardstock from Stampin' Up. I do like to use this for watercoloring because it has kind of a coating on it, and it holds up fairly well to the aqua painter. So this is cut 3 by 3. This is cut 3 1/8 by 3 1/8, and I will post those up on my website. There'll be a link that you can click into the video. So to start with, I'm going to go ahead and do the background on my stamp, and I just use this little bunch of flowers and the Pool Party. So I'm just using the same ink, same color as the cardstock. And one of the things that I do when I do a background is, you'll see that I'm kind of moving my stamp around, and I like to do them in groups of 3s. It just gives, for me, and also to go off my cardstock. The reason I do that is because then I don't get too many placed in the same area. That's just what I've done for years. So, but like I said, make sure that you're stamping some of them off the edge of this paper, because you can. It actually looks a little bit better if you take some off the edges. So there's my background, just really quick. You can see I just used the Pool Party. You could also use the Versamark. You get the same look. Versamark just makes the cardstock or the inking of a piece of cardstock just a little bit darker so that you can see it. So then I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to bring in my shimmer white, and I like to use my embossing buddy when I'm embossing, and this is just, it's like so there's a little powder in there, and it takes the static away from the cardstock so that you are not, all the embossing powder doesn't stick all over. But honestly, with this technique, you can get away with that because you're going to watercolor over the top of it, and those little splotches of embossing powder that are all over your card, it's not going to make it look bad. So I just went ahead and stamped this flower right down into the middle of that piece of shimmer white cardstock, and you can't see that because it's Versamark. It's a little light, and then I'm going to sprinkle embossing powder over the top of that flower. Shake some off, and then I'm going to go heat set it. I will be right back. There you have it. It's heat set. You can see that the embossed image is kind of shiny, and you do want to check when you emboss. Just, oh, and I see a spot where I missed. If you have a spot that's a little dull, it's just that you haven't heat set that powder. There we go. So you want to make sure that you check into like a light or sunlight just to make sure that every area is melted. And then I'm going to take this piece of paper, and I just laid this paper down so I can kind of use it as a funnel to funnel that embossing powder right back into the container that it came out of. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with Island Indigo, and actually I'm going to squeeze down on my ink pad and make myself a little, I better squeeze a little harder than that. I'm going to make myself a little palette to watercolor with. Ooh, I got a lot up there. And I'm going to come in with a, oh, not that. I need an aqua painter. Coming in with an aqua painter. An aqua painter, these come in sets of 2. This is the larger of the 2 brushes. There's a large tip and a smaller tip. What you can do is you fill these with water to watercolor with, and then you get a continuous flow of ink. I love them because they're easy to use and they're not too messy. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to pick up some ink. I'll start with the Bermuda Bay, pick up some of that color, and then just go right over my project. I only want to go over half of it because then I want to scoot into my Island Indigo and come up on this side and just add some Island Indigo. And you could actually add in there if you don't like the color or it didn't get dark enough. You can add, but what you want to make sure is that you wash this off before I start going back into the Bermuda. I can go from light to dark, but it's harder to go from dark to light. And I'm just going to use a piece of paper to rinse that off with. And actually I want to come in a little bit more here. So you can just kind of touch it up where you want to. Add a little bit more ink. Not so much. That's it. That's how easy that technique is. It's super easy and it looks great. It looks great with any of our bold solid stamps. Now the next process is to wait for this to dry. And you can see, I'm sure you can see on here where I've got some watercolor on that embossing. Well, it kind of puddles up. So the best thing to do is to just take a piece of paper towel and just blot that up. And that will clear up that white image, and then you've got a nice clear image and your watercolor. I just love this. And I love how easy it is. Once that's done, you're just going to go ahead and attach some snails, get some adhesive on the back of it, attach it to that piece of Island Indigo, so that's just a little bit bigger than the square of shimmer white. And then I'm going to come back in with my card base and attach it all together. So I'm going to use dimensionals on this little square. I just like the lift that dimensionals give to my cards. And pull off the backs of those. There we go. And then I'm going to attach that on there. And what I'm looking for here is I just wanted it to be kind of the same measurement all the way on those three sides. And then I'm going to come in with some of this glitter ribbon that we've got. Oh my gosh. This is glitter ribbon in Pool Party. And this video won't do it justice, but it is sparkly and beautiful and actually fairly soft. And of course I'm going to do a bow this time, and so to do my measurement, I start at my end here and do 1, 2, 3, 4 lengths of ribbon, and that will give me enough for a bow. If I were just going to do a knot, of course I would do 3 lengths. And then I'm going to tie this around here, and when I tie my bows, I go end over and then kind of make it into a plus sign, and then make this one into a loop and bring this one around the back. And then you have the perfect bow. Oh, it worked. And then you're really happy when it works. And then I'm going to actually, again, I can scoot the ribbon here where I need it to be. I think I want it here. That's what I like about this technique with the bows, is because you can kind of scoot them around exactly where you want them. Now, if I wanted this to lay perfectly flat, I would just stick a little glue dot on the back of that and then push it down, and that will assure me that it stays flat. And then what I'm going to do with the friend is I'm going to go ahead and ink that up in the Island Indigo. I went with the darker color, and I'm just going to stamp that. The joy of having photopolymer is that you can see exactly where it stamps. And there you have the card, but I couldn't resist adding just a little bit more to this card. So I came in with my Wink Estella, and I'm not sure this is going to show up on the video, but I am telling you, this has become my favorite new product from Stampin' Up. And all I'm going to do is, it's just it's a glitter paint, and I'm just going to go right over the top of my project here and get some glitter all over that. Now, this does get a little bit of the blue ink on there, so I am going to take a piece of a paper towel or a paper and just wipe that off so that my Wink Estella isn't tinted blue. Not that that's a bad thing. Anyway, once you've done that, you can see it also resists the embossing, and so you can also come in and just clean off that embossing. But now I've really made that shimmer, that area that's watercolored. Super easy, and it looks good. And then of course we have to add some pearls, because it just really adds some elegance to this card. stuck to my finger. There we have it. Card is complete. I love this watercolor technique, and I hope you do too. And I just want to let you know, if you haven't already done so, you may want to visit my website where you can sign up for my newsletter where I send out tips, tricks, and techniques each week. Other than that, I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.